Okay, get yourself ready for your restorative practice. And restorative practice is really about just giving in to relaxation. And that doesn't come entirely naturally at first, because sometimes we feel like we should be kind of doing more productive things. Sometimes we feel like we should be, well, the word should in itself is a guilt word, isn't it? So if we feel like we should be doing something, sorry, Jeff, then we're doing it because we feel that we should rather than because we want to. And sometimes we have to just satisfy ourselves, make sure that we're okay. And then if we're okay, then everything else is okay. And we can put good energy into everything. So get yourself ready. Have a bolster underneath your knees, some blocks underneath your feet if you've got them, and then bring yourself down onto the floor. If you feel like you might be cold, then cover yourself with a blanket. So this time of year, when the weather's it's still quite warm for the time of year, isn't it? But even so, cover yourself up for comfort and release. And then allow yourself into the floor. This is always my favourite part of the session. Just these first couple of minutes of laying on the floor just feel like bliss. After having a busy day, doing lots of work things that demand a lot of our attention, it feels amazing to just relax down onto the floor, just to let the floor support the body, just to align the spine and to create a real sense of quietness and support. So listen to the breath. Listen to the breath as it enters, and allow yourself to sink into the floor with an out breath. Take an in breath, deep in breath, and then sink into the floor with an out breath. Consciously unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. Let the body become heavy on the ground. Give yourself permission to relax. You've earned this opportunity to release, to recuperate your energy. So just commit to relaxation. Embrace it. Enjoy the sensations of the straight line of the floor. So if you haven't done yet, close your eyes or cover your eyes. Cover your eyes with an eye pillow so that it's dark. And just allow the body to become light through its heaviness. Draw your attention in towards the soles of the feet. Draw your attention to the soles of the feet so that the soles of the feet tingle with consciousness. Feel the skin consciously tingling in the soles of the feet. And then consciously relax the soles of the feet. Soften the muscles of the underside of the foot. Soften the flesh and the skin. Soften the bone. Draw your attention to the tops of your feet. Again, so that they tingle with consciousness. And then consciously relax the top of the foot. Relax the skin and the flesh and the muscle and the bones. Enjoy that sensation of relaxation. Relaxing the top of the foot, relaxing the bottom of the foot. Draw your attention into your shins. Draw your attention into the shins and allow the shin bone to sink into the calf muscle. Draw your attention to the kneecaps and the thighs. And then consciously relax the fronts of the thighs, allowing them to sink into the backs of the thighs. Feel the legs as they relax into the bolster and into the blocks. Draw your attention into the pelvis. It's the pelvis and the abdomen. And allow the muscles around the pelvis and around the abdomen to consciously soften. And draw the abdomen in towards the floor. Draw the pelvis into the floor, relaxing the muscles across the front of the pelvis. Allow the pelvis and the abdomen to sink into the floor, softening the muscles. Just pushing your out breath into that region for release. And then draw your consciousness into the rib cage and the diaphragm region. And allow the chest cavity to completely relax. Just soften the muscles around the ribs, the intercostal muscles. Soften the skin around the rib cage. Draw your attention into the arms and the hands and the fingers. Draw your attention into your shoulders and into your upper arms and the forearms and into the palms of the hands, stretching all the way into the fingertips. Just relax from the shoulders into the elbows, into the wrists, into the palms, into the fingertips. And then draw your attention into the neck. Letting go of the muscles of the neck. And your consciousness rides up into the skull. Draw your attention into the neck, softening the muscles around the throat and around the spine. Draw your attention into the facial muscles. Soften the muscles of the face. You're smoothing clay from the top of the forehead down towards the cheekbones. Just enjoying this feeling of complete relaxation. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, begin to wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, and then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, the feet apart, the knees together. Just take the eye pillow off if you're wearing it. Just rest your lower back into the floor. And then gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. Don't be in a rush to disturb yourself. Just allow yourself to enjoy this feeling of freedom. And then straighten out the top leg and come up into cross legs. Just hold on to your knees. Just observe your energy, how your energy has changed just from that simple, basic relaxation pose. Okay, so we're going to do the mountain brook pose. So take your folded blanket, unfold it so it's this quarter fold, and then fold it down the middle. So you've got your fold like that, and then just fold it down the middle. So you've got this narrow, kind of chunky folded blanket. Take the blocks away from underneath your feet, you don't need those. And then you're just going to come down onto your back, again with a bolster underneath your knees. And then the folded blanket is just going to support your shoulder blades, and then rest your arms on the floor over your head. This mountain brook pose is one of my absolute favourites, although in fairness there's not any of them I don't really like, in fairness, but this I find really energising and liberating. The armpit region is open, the head supported, the shoulders open up. So when you find your position, allow yourself to relax. Don't be in a rush, just if you need to, and then release. So as you know, as we progress into the sequence, I'll speak less and less, so that you don't need to listen. You can simply use the pose to relax. Okay, when you're ready, just gently release your arms from over your head. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, and then roll yourself off the bolster, off the little lift, and then come up, stretching the top leg out. Just come up into a seated position and observe your energy. Just observe how your energy has changed. Okay, we're going to do a couple of side lying stretches that kind of, work in a very similar way to the mountain brook. So just unfold, just put your blanket into just a normal fold like that. And then if you've got a oblong bolster, then I prefer this. A normal bolster would be fine as well, but an oblong bolster feels really good, I think. Then you want a block for your head, and then you can put your blanket over the top of the blanket. So over the top of the block. And then you just bend your knees like this, and then you're going to stretch yourself out along the bolster. Bring the shoulder down onto the floor. Have this arm that's on the floor in a little right angle. Support your head on the bolster, and then you stretch your arm over your ear. So again, just giving yourself warmth and comfort. Adjust a couple of times if you need to. If you feel that you're not comfortable to begin with, just place yourself down with attention, and you will be able to really let go and relax. So in this pose, try and breathe evenly into both lungs, even though the bolstered lung maybe feels a little bit restricted because of the bolster. Just feel that opening of the upper facing rib cage. Opening up all the more with each individual breath. If it becomes uncomfortable to have your arm over your ear, then just put your hand on a block just over your head, just over above, beyond your head along the floor. So this is also one of my favourite poses. It's really good for stiff shoulders. And then bring that top arm back onto the hip. Press the bottom arm into the floor, the elbow into the floor, and then just push yourself up into cross legs. Observe your energy, observe how the body feels. That profound energy that comes from these deep relaxation poses. We'll do the other side. So sit on the other hip. Again, bend in your knees and then stretch the other side along the bolster so that it's underneath the armpit chest. Rest the elbow and the arm into the floor. And then raise that top arm over your ear and rest it down on the floor. Breathe evenly into both lungs. Feel the chest expand outwards and upwards as you inhale, relaxing as you exhale. And then raise your top arm, just bring the arm back down onto the floor, onto the hip. Push the bottom elbow into the floor and then bring yourself up into cross legs. Hold onto your knees. Observe your energy. Observe the feeling of lightness of your energy. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, we're going to do our restorative bridge pose. So get your blanket and your folded blanket and unfold it again so that it's this quarter fold. And then just roll it up like a Swiss roll, halfway. And then just keep that there. And then you're going to have a bolster for underneath your seat bones. So just bring your neck into the Swiss roll. It should feel really nice. Just lift up, bring the bolster underneath your lower back. And then just keep the knees bent, resting on the floor. Just cover yourself up. Have the bolster underneath the kind of middle of the back, just to keep the chest area lifted. And then stretch your arms. Just rest your arms along the floor. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose and allow the body to rest into the floor. If you find that the roll underneath your neck is a bit big or too small, then just adjust. While this is a practice of relaxation, it's not a practice of enforced stillness. So just feel free to adjust your position for greater comfort if necessary. Okay, without disturbing yourself too much, lift the seat bones and slide the bolster away so that it just sits underneath the backs of your legs, underneath your knees, and then unroll the blanket, just have it in the normal fold for your head, and then just allow yourself to release into the floor. Let the body become heavy on the ground, unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs. Conscious of that sensation of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones, filling up the muscles with the positive energy of your breath. Radiate from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness evenly down into the toes, into the fingers, and up into the top of the head. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. And when you're ready, wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. And then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster. Have the feet apart, the knees together, rest in your lower back deeply into the floor. Pull your knees in towards your chest, have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then roll over onto your right side, stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just a final cross legs with your hands in Namaste. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this evening, that good, positive, healthy flow of profound energy that we release through our relaxation, that refreshed energy that brings vitality to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. To people, to places, to things that need our positive energy. And gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head. Allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel like you've really lifted your energy. You've given yourself some good relaxation energy, but that also gives you good energy to put into your evening. So thank you very much for joining me.